The 12mm f2.8 0D lens from Laowa has gained a lot of popularity for its incredibly low amount of distortion amongst filmmakers and photographers. But now they're looking to take on the cinema crowd with their new 12mm t2.9 0D Cine lens. This lens is the same optically as its stills counterpart, but it has received a range of serious usability and housing upgrades aimed to make it feel more at home on a set. GL Optics did this a couple of years back, rehousing Laowa's stills lens. This official Cine lens from Laowa hits a different price point, costing only around $1,000 versus the GL Optics, which comes in at around $2,600. This lens we have in-house was loaned to us by Laowa a while ago, so I believe there have been a few tweaks to the lens's construction since. This new housing is incredibly solid. Laowa have managed to keep the weight down to only 693 grams. That's only just 60 grams heavier than the stills version. Measuring in at only 88.45mm long with a front diameter of 95mm, this lens is really compact for such a wide focal length. Being a Cine version, both the focus and iris rings have a decent amount of resistance, making both iris and focus pull smooth and consistent. They also feature your standard 0.8 pitched gears for your follow focus, and the focus ring has a 270-degree rotation. It has a close focus distance of 0.18 meters, which can be used for some pretty crazy focus pulls. It has a 7-bladed iris, has an image circle that will cover full frame and even vista vision, and is made up of 16 elements in 13 groups. But how does the lens actually perform? For these tests, we shot on our Red Monstro in full 8K mode. We shot the lens at t2.9 and at t4. Wide open, the bokeh is nice and round, but does lose its shape towards the corners of frame slightly. When stopped down to t4, you can start to see the aperture blades forming a heptagon shape, but it is slightly rounded. At both apertures, the lens suffers from onion skin bokeh with edge definition, but overall the lens renders bokeh well for a 12mm. Wide open, you have some weird flaring, which looks like internal reflection. Once you have stopped down, this goes away and the lens controls flaring much better, with some character and veiling glare. Distortion is really where this lens shines. This has so little distortion for a 12mm designed for full frame use. Couple that with how small and compact this lens is, it's really amazing how well it does handle distortion. Unfortunately, this lens suffers from a lot of breathing, which you can see here. For these tests, we shot wide open and at t4, and then at both close focus and infinity on each stop. These images are generated using our lens tool, which you can use for yourself via the link in the description. For this example, we are showing the coverage on a Red Monstro in full 8K full frame mode. Wide open, this lens suffers from heavy light fall off towards the corners of the frame, at both close focus and infinity. However, this is handled slightly better at close focus than infinity. Stop down to t4, this is slightly better handled, but it is still quite a bit. Again, this is better at close focus than infinity. Looking at our focus charts, you can see this lens resolves really well in the center and does hold sharpness fairly well into the corners, but there's definitely some fall off. When you stop down, the center does sharpen up a little bit, but the biggest improvement is the corners that are not only brighter, but also sharper. Overall, for a lens of this design, this is actually really impressive. Chromatic aberration is really well controlled, considering some of the wide angles I've seen in the past. You can see a little on Alex's hair, but this is very well controlled. When you stop down, this is reduced. This lens is really impressive. It's compact, light, well built, has great image quality, and has some of the lowest distortion I've ever seen on a full frame prime of its focal length. Given its relatively low cost as well, I can see a lot of owner-ops picking up this lens and giving it a place in their bag for the few occasions you need an ultra-wide field of view with really low distortion. Thanks for watching, and to stay up to date with our content, make sure you hit subscribe.